Hi, I'm Scott Doonbeer from Act 4 Publishing.
And I'm Kevin Gardner of 12 Gauge Comics. We're here to tell you about our Kickstarter campaign for Jason Pearson's Body Bags Artist Edition. As many of you know, Jason passed away in December of 2022. He was a dear friend of mine, and in my opinion, one of the most talented comic book creators to ever work in this industry. His work for Marvel and DC on books like X-Men, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Batman, Harley Quinn, and so many others was well regarded. But no matter what he did, it always came back around to body bags. His wildly controversial and wildly successful creator-owned series that debuted in 1996. And all these years later, we're still talking about it. Now let me hand it over to Scott, who is the Eisner Award-winning creator of the Artist Edition format. He'll tell you a little bit about that and why he wants to do this book.
Jason Pearson was someone that I worked with over the years when I was the editor-in-chief at Wildstorm. He was a friend of mine. He remained a friend throughout his life. Incredibly talented guy. I wanted to do something that would solidify his legacy, and I thought the best way I could do that was to put together an artist edition. It takes original comic art and prints it in a format that is as close as possible to what the original art looks like. So you're talking about a book that is printed the same size. This book will be 12 by 17 inches, and it will be scanned in color so you can actually see all the little nuances that make original art unique. Everything as close as possible to the actual intent of the artist. And that's our tribute to Jason.
On top of the Artist Edition hardcover, we have two other books we'll be offering in this campaign. Both are 64 pages in length. Both are 8-inch by 12-inch in size and perfect bound. Really nice presentation. The first is called Locked and Loaded, and it is a Jason Pearson sketchbook. It's a convention-style book that has all of his private commission artwork that most people have never seen. The other is called the Artist Edition Plus book, and we're doing that because Jason never sold a single page of his body bags work. That's from the sequential pages, but also the character designs, early concept art, all the way through the final pages he was working on before he passed away.
If you back the book and you get the two ancillary books, you'll be receiving more than 300 images by Jason Pearson that have never been printed in this format. So this is an incredible opportunity. If you're a fan of Jason's, this is a great project.
We've also got some add-ons as part of our campaign, like trading cards and print sets and some really great looking stuff. And also want to say, if you back Jason's campaign in 2015, we have a very special offer for you too. So please go check out our campaign page. Thank you so much for listening to the video, and thank you for your support. Body bags.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Here we are, My Wednesday Comics. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Welcome to my channel. So good to see you guys all here, coming on in, moseying on into the room. We're going to be talking about comics today. I've got to move. I always say this. I got to move at a rapid pace today. There's been a few scheduling commitments that are have pushed into early evening, late afternoon for me. So they're always overlapping the tail end of what used to be my normal times of streaming. So yeah, it's been crunching a little bit of my schedule these last few days, and will probably keep going on for the next couple of weeks. So I do have to move at a relatively quick clip today. I might not spend so much time shooting the fat. Maybe I'll save that towards the end of the stream if we have time, or during the stream, obviously. But that is always one of my favorite parts of doing this. So I don't want to neglect the chat by any stretch of the imagination, but I also can't leisurely get lost into 30 minutes of catching up with you guys because otherwise we won't get to the comics. And we have a lot to get to today. If you guys have been watching my stream or following my channel the last few days, I got a special package at the end of last week that I have held on to, haven't cracked it open. I know who it came from, and there's a little hint there in the title of the stream today of who it came from, but I don't know what's inside of it, and I'm so excited to open it up, and I've been holding on to it. I thought maybe I would do a separate stream and open it on stream, but it never ended up working out. I did a master study stream yesterday, and if that person showed up in the chat, I might have taken the time to open it during that stream, but they didn't. So Wednesday is here, and now is the time to open that package. And I'm so excited. I don't know if that person will be able to come in the stream. I actually shot them a DM to let them know I was doing it today. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pop in here. But if not, we will give him his shout out and props as we open it up so that when he watches the stream later, he can see all my appreciation for it. So I thought it was going to be primarily about the unboxing today because I didn't think there would be that many new books coming out this week, but I grabbed quite a few, as always happens with me. So it's a jam-packed show today with a lot of cool stuff, a lot of surprises, things that were off the beaten trail for me, and that I'm really excited to share with you guys. For anybody who's here for the first time, my name is Rocky Ballesteros. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I like to call this show My Wednesday Comics, and it's a time for me to just share my love of comics, my weekly love of comics with the new books coming out, things that I discovered during the week, and whether that's old books in my collection or things I see in the library or things I run into in used collections, whatever it is, it's all about comics here. There's this show, and then yesterday I had a show that is somewhat regular, not as regular as my Wednesday Comics, but I like to call that my Master Study streams, where I look at an original page I look at a page from a comic book master, and I try and reproduce that so that I can learn like the techniques of how they created that page. So I'll reproduce that from blank page to finished inks. And this last master study that I finished just yesterday was of Frank Miller, who is one of my all-time favorite comic book artists. And it was during his run on Daredevil and the Elektra saga. So the cool thing about that stream, at least the last episode of that stream, there was about 6 different episodes of that where I live streamed the whole thing. So yeah, you can go back and watch those. I have playlists for all the master studies I've done. I've done 7 different artists so far, and we're just rolling with those. And so I try and document and live stream my progress on each one of those. Really fun. Go back and watch those. But the cool thing and the distinguishing thing about that stream versus any of the other master studies I've done in the past is I was trying out screen tones, which is really cool. Screen tones or halftones, zipatones. I've heard that be called zipatones as well. But it's a process where a printed sticker sheet or a letraset sheet of a pattern is applied to a comic book page to create shadows, to create shading effects, and it was a process that was used so that it could be reproduced and printed properly during for whatever the printing limitations were there. This is before like computer coloring and computer printing. So they would print out these sheets of different kinds of patterns, different tones, different gray tones, and then you can buy them and then cut them out and apply them in certain spots that you wanted. And it's really common in Japanese comic art, manga art, for them to use these screen tones. So we looked at some of those examples yesterday, but that was my first time trying it traditionally myself, and it turned out way better than I expected. Here's the final page. You can go back and see, you can see kind of the tones here. But these grays here, this is all the screen tones. They were all hand applied. So like, you know, I cut them out and cut out these white areas that I wanted to show. So go back and watch the stream. If this interests you at all, there's tons of YouTube streams out there of people doing this technique. And I learned a lot just watching them myself. But you can see this actual page being completed and added so much to the page. It just adds a lot of depth and it just has a cool look. And I would love to do this on some new pages, you know what I mean? Like some original comic pages once I start, as I get more and more into the process of creating comic book art, not just master studies, but working on my own comic. That's the end goal here. Maybe using the screen tone effect in certain spots or certain places, because it has such a cool look. And you look at it and it's just like, you see comics, like that's what it is. There's nothing else like it. So it was awesome. Turned out great. I'm so happy. It's one of my favorite master studies that I've done. And you can go back and watch those, like I said. I always say like I said. I'm sorry. That sounds a little like condescending. Like I said. Sorry. There's certain phrases that constantly come out of my mouth. And like I said is one of those that I repeat a lot. So, as I mentioned earlier, you can go back and watch the whole process and specifically that last episode of doing screen tones for the Frank Miller page. It's really fun. And it was great. A lot of you guys were there. So, I'm going to do a truncated shoot the fat. This is a fast shooting the fat, which is this intro time here where I just got to catch up with you guys. But I do want to get to the comics. I want to get to the unboxing. I'm going to do the unboxing first because that's just how we do it here. And everybody usually, when I put it out to the chat of like, what do you want to do first, unboxing or look at comics? Everybody always says unboxing. Like nobody here likes to wait for the surprise. It's like, let's get to it. So I'm going to do the unboxing first. But let me say hey to everybody here, and then we'll just get into it. So first in the chat, Mark's Music Obsession. Always rushing in here. Good seeing you, Mark. Glad things are going somewhat better for you today, and thank you for being first in the chat. It's awesome always seeing you here. Jeffrey Beats is here from Down Under.
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
Yesterday, Jeffrey Beats, what were you, like 26.5% bogan, I think. So today, what is it? Did it go down? Are you in closer proximity to a pub? Like, where we at, Jeffrey Beats? It's good seeing you. Thank you for tuning in from the other side of the world. I love it. I love that YouTube can do that. Just about comics. I mean, come on. That's amazing. Lindsay Rose is in here again, showing up. Lindsay Rose, great to see you. I was sad I missed the Lord of the Rings convo yesterday. Yeah, that was a heated well, not heated. That was a spirited conversation yesterday, specifically because Emo Trash watched it for the first time. Like, she has lived her life, how many years? 20 years or so, youngin'. Never watching the Lord of the Rings movies, which is mind-blowing to me. There's some of you in the chat that are like this. And like, I think I need to take a survey before people join in to make sure you've watched certain benchmarks of these classic movies. Like Star Wars is another one. Comrade Sammy, who usually is here in the chat by now, she hasn't watched, well, she might be busy today actually, but she hasn't watched Star Wars yet. I'm like, just watch A New Hope. And if you don't like it, fine. But you need to put that into your psyche. Like, you've got to put that into your psyche. That's a must watch for me. So, yes. But anyway, Emo had a lot of comments about Lord of the Rings. You can go back and watch that chat and just see where she's at. She had good points. I'm not going to fault her at all for her opinion. But I'm glad, at the very least, I'm glad that she watched it. My job here is done. What she thinks about it, who knows, but I'm glad she watched it. Mark says, 8 watching, 3 likes for shame. Come on, people, hit that like. We are at 566, I believe, subscribers right now, which is great. I actually know who that 566 subscriber is because I met him in the comic book store today which was pretty awesome. I got introduced to him by Frank from Amazing Fantasy. That was one of those trailers I showed at the beginning of this stream. Frank's store. I stopped by there. That was one of the stores I stopped by today, and Frank said, "Oh, look, there's 2 YouTubers here. You guys should connect." And there was another guy standing next to me, and so we traded our YouTube channels. He subscribed. My account went up by 1. There we go. Maybe he's watching right now. I believe his name was Ray, and he has a channel called SF Comic Book Club? Comic Book Company? No, SF Comic Book Company. And he just talks about, I don't know, I just subscribed to his channel today, but he talks about pop culture and movie reviews, he said, and comic reviews, obviously. So I'm going to go watch his channel probably after I'm done streaming here, just to see what his channel is all about. But always nice to cross paths with other people who are doing this crazy thing on YouTube. Let's see. Mark's Music Obsession says, I got Spring Ball perks. Yeah, me too. So we can do that. We can take a peek. I'll just so the 2 campaigns I showed at the beginning of my stream today, one of which is Spring Ball, but I'll show you this one. Are we live here? Okay, so this is the Body Bags campaign. I just got this email yesterday, and they were just asking to like confirm all your specifics, your address and blah blah blah, because I backed the heck out of this campaign. Body Bags, created by Jason Pearson, rest in peace. He is one of my favorite comic book creators. But they did this. They're doing this artist edition of his book Body Bags, which I love artist edition, and holy moly, to be able to have an artist edition of Jason Pearson's Body Bags is a dream come true. Just look at this stuff, guys. It's going to be incredible. And when that comes in the mail for me, you better believe I'm going to be streaming all over this. But look at his unbelievable. He's an unbelievable artist. He just had this amazing combo of like exaggeration and realism, beautiful graphic way of seeing the world, stylization, and his execution was unbelievable. He's an amazing storyteller, and he was just kind of balls to the wall a little bit. Like he didn't care, and his stuff crossed the line all the time. He's always pushing the boundaries. He could stage action like with the best of them. Had some cool characters. Anyway, so this is kind of a snapshot of what's coming in the campaign, and I'm really, really excited about this to come. This is kind of more of his work here. And then we can also look at the Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity campaign by my buddy Shanthan Jetty Art. If you haven't backed it already, please do so. This is the Indiegogo campaign. Shant's at $24,885, 483 backers. And a couple weeks ago, he announced John Malin cover. John Malin is a experienced professional in the comic book world. He's part of the Comicsgate movement, and he's doing this variant cover for Shant for his book, which is so good. And the thing about Spring Ball is this is Shant's love letter to McFarlane Spider-Man, Steve Ditko Spider-Man, Evil Dead, and I was there with Shant way back when. I've known him for over 30 years. When he came up with Spring Ball, and it's just everything that's so cool about comics and that I fell in love with comics. So to see him launch this again in a new campaign now with all the YouTube stuff and everything he's doing for his channel is amazing, and I'm so excited about this. I backed this like crazy. I backed it with the original ink sketch, and then I also added on this Malin cover once he announced it, because that's a banger cover right there, and super amazing to see such a lauded professional do a variant cover for my buddy Shant. So I'm really excited about this campaign. I know Mark is as well. So yeah, go back that stuff, guys. It's awesome. Support my friend Shant more than anything. He's such a good dude. Okay, I thought I was going to do this short, but I'm going to move fast. Jeffrey Beat says, this week I'm picking up from the comic book shop. Drum roll, nothing. It's a rare week. I nearly grabbed, Wolverine and Spider-Man. I will talk about that a little bit. I didn't pick that one up either. I didn't pick that one up either. But we can talk about it. Get going, Rocky. I will. Gotta have some Shooting the Fat. I know. I love it. John's here. John knows all about Shooting the Fat.
He goes, what's your name? He goes, John.
John was there when I created Shooting the Fat. John is part of Shooting the Fat. John, it's awesome seeing you here. 566 subs. Whoop, whoop. That's right. I think Comrade Sammy and Emo both said they won't be able to make it today. No problem. I know Comrade Sammy did. She's our chat ninja. She did mention that she would be busy today. So that's why she was pushing me to stream yesterday, which I did. It worked out. So we got our fix, but who knows? Maybe she'll show up. The chat ninja has done weirder things or more surprising things. Wednesday Adams approves because it's Wednesday. Sure. Yes, Rocky. I did fall asleep at the end of last Frank Miller Master Study stream. You're welcome. You're welcome, John. I have been known and described as having a dulcet tone to my voice, a soothing that has attracted people to this channel. So I see that as a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment, John, and nothing else. But I'm glad you were able to get a good nap or a good sleep after that one. Rocky is a screen tone addict now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. I thought I would try it out and be like, cool, that's awesome, learned a lot. But it does now make me think, ooh, this could be a tool. This could be a really cool tool to use in the future, especially if it's for the right kind of project. So I'm kind of excited that we did that on that page yesterday. Katie's here. Oh my gosh.
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No. A cup of tea.
Katie says good evening because she's in the UK. I'm trying to sleep but wanted to just say hi. You know what, Katie? I'm going to help you fall asleep. Based on what John just said and my track record, I'm going to help you fall asleep. So just hang your hat, get comfy, put on those socks. We are ready to go. John says, future headline, local artist Rocky Ballesteros bankrupt after too much screen tones. They're expensive. Those were like $6 a sheet. But it was worth it. It was so worth it. I'm actually going to start researching. I can't get them from Amazon because when I ordered them from Amazon, like I said yesterday, they came folded. They didn't ship. They need to ship them to me in like an envelope, stiff envelope, and not rolled up in a bubble wrap, bubble mailer, because it gets bent. And just based on handling the screen tones that I did yesterday, it's got to be flat, because if it's bent or creased in any place, it won't stick properly. So shame on them. So I got to find other places, maybe other art stores where I can pick up some sheets, flat sheets at least. That's right. Lindsay Rose is getting on board here. Lindsay Rose is. Lindsay Rose, apologies. I almost said she, but I don't know if it's a she. It might be a he. Let us know in the chat if you don't mind. That would be helpful so I don't misgender you as I talk about you. All right, let's see. Very artist teacher take. Won't fault her for her opinion. All opinions are welcome. They might not be agreed upon, but they're all welcome. I mean, we're not even talking about politics here. We're talking about Lord of the Rings, which actually could be more heated than politics on my channel. So, yeah. Yep, Lindsay, that's what I'm planning. That's why Katie tuned in. Jeffrey Beats is a 22.2% bogan today. I'm about to get flip-flops on and drop children to school. 23% bogan level. If I go over 24%, I'll go have a rest. Sounds good to me. It's like a reverse fever or something. I love it, though. Lindsay Rose agrees. New Hope is solid. New Hope is my favorite. I love the original trilogy. Nothing beats that trilogy for me. And I always see them as like a unit. But if I had to pick one of those movies out and say this represents Star Wars, it would be New Hope. So I'm sticking with that. Katie says, Cranberry Landers had me drawing fish and mushrooms today. What the? Did I miss that again? Dang it, you guys. What time are you streaming that I missed that? We're off sync. I got to get my calendar in line with you. And honestly, I don't know what any of your guys' calendars are. You're crazy. You guys show up at all hours of the day. Whenever I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, wait, what are they doing? Like, how do they tune in? Like, sometimes I'll do late night streams or whatever. She's like, why are they still awake? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Such a good movie. That's right. Hump Day Camel ad would be a great intro for my Wednesday comics if it wasn't for that pesky copyright thing. Oh, yes. That could be a problem. Mo Biggs is here. What's up, Mo Biggs? Hail the chat. Good seeing you. Hope I haven't been missing one of Rocky's notorious super shows. Not going to let me go with that one. I missed the Lord of the Rings discussion. It was yesterday, Mo Biggs. It was. And it seems like Emo Trash might not be here. Cranberry might not be here. He's been really busy, super busy the last few weeks. And I think they were kind of the crux of that discussion. Awesome One also had some input on the Lord of the Rings discussion. I'll let you guys jump into it if you want. But yes, there was a Lord of the Rings discussion yesterday. Oh, well, I'm sure we can all agree that Tom Bombadil is the Scrappy-Doo. I love that. Nice. Lindsay Rose says, my chromosomes are XX. Okay. John asks, have you met any male Lindsays? That's a good question. I don't think I've met any. I've heard of them. So you never know. You never know. I'm glad Lindsay only took the chromosomes she needed and didn't hoard extras like Rob Arnold. There's a story going in there. All right. Hello, everybody. All right, Lindsay Rose, we got you. We got you covered. Okay, let me get to the unboxing. That was not fast, guys. That wasn't fast at all. That was actually as long as normal. I failed. All right, let's get to the unboxing. That's what I'm going to start off with. For those of you who moseyed in here, we're going to start off with this unboxing. I got this package last week. Look at this. Look at the size of this baby. So, yes, I have been waiting a long time to do that. Well, not a long time, less than a week, but I've been waiting. Very tempting. When I get a mystery package, I'd say about 75% of the time, I'll know what it is because I've ordered it myself. But this was sent by a kind soul. And I knew that they had let me know they had sent something, but I had no idea when they would send it, how they would send it, or what they were sending, actually. So yeah, this is it. I'm very excited to do this. All right, so there's a lot of bubble. I'm expecting there's a head in here. I don't know. I'm really nervous knowing this person. It could be a head. This could be like the end scene of. Oh my gosh! This could be like the end scene of 7. What in the? Oh wait. Oh my gosh. What in the heck? All right, this is crazy overwhelming here. All right, I think I got everything out. There's a lot of packing. What in the heck? Oh my gosh. I'm a little bit in shock here. Okay, there's a whole pack here of I don't know what. And there's a couple extras here, which I will show in a second. But let's open this. This will be revealing to. All right, let me switch views. This will be revealing to. Oh my gosh. What in the heck? So I'm gonna give you. I'm a little shocked here. I'm gonna give you guys a little hint of who this is from. Do you guys recognize that sound? I'll give you guys 30 seconds. So anybody guess? This is overwhelming. This is really overwhelming. This is overwhelming in that it's like incredibly generous. Booyah. John is correct. This is from Shelby Robertson, American Discord, who has been in my chat a number of times. We've connected through this crazy YouTube comic world. And I've never met Shelby in person. We've just connected over social media and YouTube. And I respect the guy a lot because he's a professional. He's worked in the business, worked with some of the greatest comic book artists of all time. He's got an amazing knowledge of comic history, especially the comic history that I love, like the time period. We are very in sync of what we like. If you guys don't know Shelby, go check out his channel. It's called American Discord. Shelby Robertson's his name. He's worked in the business, worked with Extreme Studios, Rob Liefeld back in the 90s, early 2000s. And anyway, he puts out a great show and he's super funny and I love his streams. But he said, I'm sending you something. And I didn't know what it was. And this is amazing because one of the things that I'm wanting to do is actually to start drawing on blank covers, on commission covers, especially once we get to the point where I can have paid memberships and monetization on this YouTube channel. And we're close. We're about 100 watch hours, Mark's Music Obsession. We're about 100 watch hours away from that. We hit the threshold of the subscribers already, the first threshold, which was 500 subscribers. So one of the things I want to tie into this, like, paid memberships or whatever, has to do with drawing commissions. And I think what I've been doing on the master studies is kind of helping me prep to like draw on stream and stuff. So he just sent me 2 blank covers from X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1, which these are beautiful, beautiful covers. A awesome Jim Lee hardcore cover. Oh my gosh, hardcore. I love this cover, but like hardcore. Who drew this? These are all bagged and board as Shelby would. Oh, David Lapham, okay, but he did a gatefold. That bastard, Jim Lee. This is an awesome gatefold cover by Jim Lee on this old Valiant. This is why I love Shelby, because we definitely grew up at the same time period of comics, and we are drawn to the same kind of comics. So this is awesome. The Shield #1. This was a Rob Liefeld thing where he took I believe Shield was a public domain character, kind of a competitor with Captain America, that was owned by, Archie Comics? The Mighty Crusaders, blah, blah, blah. Archie Comics. Rob Liefeld did the art on this. This is awesome. I've always wondered. Oh my gosh, he sent me so much stuff. What the heck, Shelby? This is classic Rob Liefeld. And you can love or hate Rob Liefeld. I love Rob Liefeld because it was so much of my childhood. The Image Comics, the rise of Image Comics, the formation of Image Comics, all those artists that stepped out from Marvel and DC and formed Image Comics are icons in my mind, and I love their careers and loved kind of what they've done. Rob Liefeld, obviously the creator of Youngblood, but also Cable and Deadpool, and one of the people that Shelby worked with. So this is so cool. I don't have this. This is awesome. The Dragon #1, 99 cents. What was this? Oh, wait, was this issue 1? Oh, okay. So it's like a... Maybe they just released a 99 cents issue of #1, reprinting of issue 1. That's cool. I love Dragon. Eric Larson, also one of the original founders of Image Comics. Amazing. Here we go. Mo Big says, subscribe to Shelby. Yeah, go subscribe to his channel. He's fun. I always make fun of Shelby in the sense that, like, he's just got this great way about him. I know Shelby cares. Like, Shelby is, and he's such a good craftsman. Like, his artwork, when you watch him draw on stream, it's amazing. Like, he's not figuring things out. He's just, like, super confident in himself as an artist, and I admire that a lot. But the way that he interacts with the chat and guests on his stream just crack me up. So I just always write in the hashtag Shelby don't care, because that's kind of the aura that he gives. All right, it looks like Shelby did this cover. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what this is. Interior pencils, interior inks. Oh, this is inked by Shelby. Very cool. Oh, this is very cool. This is actually going to tie into, it's going to tie into something I picked up at the store. You're going to laugh. Oh, I wish Shelby was here. Yeah, Shelby said he might not be able to make it because he had some errands to run. Because I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to open up this box on stream. This is cool. So a colored version. Is this a black and white version or just the cover? Oh, Shelby, shut up. Wait. Okay, this is just a variant cover. Black and white cover. Shut up. I've been looking for this. This is a variant cover. Oh, shut up, Shelby. Dang it. Wow, Shelby, I owe you big time, man. This is a variant cover that Shelby did for G.I.Joe, the Silent Interlude, the anniversary that they released. Oh my gosh. Shelby drew this cover of Cobra Commander, and then inside is a reprint of the Silent Interlude issue. This is sick. This is not an easy cover. This is a variant cover. I think it was for C2E2, which was a convention, Chicago. I think it's a Chicago convention, and he did a variant cover for that was only exclusive to that. Not easy to find. I've mentioned it a few times on my channel, but like I hadn't been able to get my hands on it. And this is so cool. You know what I got? And I never talked about this on stream. I was kind of keeping it a secret. Man, I am so off mark right now because this is just throwing me off. But I picked up this. Speaking of blank cover commissions, I found one for Silent Interlude, which is a blank cover, and I can't wait to draw on this. Like I'm hoarding it until I get to that point where I'm gonna do blank cover commissions. So, but this is amazing. Wow. Why didn't you sign it, Shelby? You jerk. No. That's it. I'm returning all this stuff. You didn't sign it? Oh my gosh. This is awesome. It's like Christmas. Oh, this is Shelby's book. Shut up. He did this cover as an homage to Frank Miller's Sin City. Shelby knows how much I love Frank Miller. This is also an homage to Frank Miller's Sin City. Wow. Ragetality. This is Shelby's original character. Story art lettering, red hues by Shelby Robertson. Go check it out in Shelby's store. This is his book. And he did it in this awesome Frank Miller style. Gosh, this is too good. Oh, I remember him doing this on stream. He did this drawing on stream. Freaking awesome. Wow. That's awesome. Frank Miller / Deathblow style, I should say. Sin City / Deathblow. Jim Lee Deathblow. That's so cool. It's cool because Shelby just embodies that image excitement in his work, and he's pushing it. He's just still pushing it, still waving that flag. And that's kind of why I love just hearing him on his streams. And just he has a lot of knowledge. He knows a lot of the people that I idolized during that time period. He's worked with them, crossed paths with them, so he's got a lot of great insight on their stuff. Wow, this is so cool. I'm shocked. Oh, this is rad. It's just brutal, brutal art here. In a good way. So good. Sorry. Whenever there's like this slightly glossy paper, I do get reflections on it. So apologize. I'm like enamored by the comic. I'm not even like looking at what it looks like to you guys. It's probably like this. I'm like, it's so cool. It's like half off the frame. Look at this girl. Yowza. Oh, cool. Love it. Love these sketches in the back. Awesome. Ragetality sketches. Ragetality. What the? I don't know if you guys can read that. He's saying ramen. This is an homage to a Frank Miller layout with the sound effects, which is awesome. This must be an inside joke that I am not privy to. Wow, this is impressive. Very cool. I'm stunned. This is incredible. Shelby's such a good dude for doing this and sending me this totally out of the blue. Really cool. So that's all the like fun stuff in that package. That's not all, guys. Look what else Shelby included. This is unbelievable. God Loves Man Kills, one of the best X-Men stories. Really a cornerstone X-Men story. Written by Chris Claremont and Brent Anderson. Gosh, I could just do this. Oh, holy. What? This is signed? What in the... What the heck? I think this is this a Chris Claremont signature? Or a Brent Anderson? I mean, if Shelby was here, I'd ask him. I believe it looks like a Chris Claremont signature. If I could see like a CH maybe and a T. I'll Google it. This is a great story. I feel like this is where X-Men like took a turn for like it got really real when this story came out, because we were dealing with like murder of kids, very, very heavy stuff. Religion, they threw in religion in there, kind of made parallels to the conservative religious people in this story, at least, discriminating against mutants. It was definitely like a race story, but the race being the human race versus mutant race, as opposed to you know, ethnically different races. But it was awesome. It's like, I felt like X-Men got very, very adult when this story came out and blew my mind. It was so well executed. Brent Anderson went on to draw. He drew a lot of stuff, but he was a regular artist on a book called Astro City. And to be honest, I actually think this is like the pinnacle of Brent Anderson's work. This story right here, just phenomenal stuff. And it's part of this. I've talked about the Marvel graphic novels quite a bit on my channel before. Look at this. This gets this gets really heavy. Professor X having these dreams, these visions. But these Marvel graphic novels that they were like high production in this larger format than regular comic books, and they would spend more money on these stories, and they were longer format, larger format, and they could allow for like more complicated like coloring techniques because of the way they were publishing it. So they did a lot of these painted stuff, and there were some great stories that came out of this run of different Marvel graphic novels. This is one of my favorites though. Oh, it's so rich. Goodness. Dang. Yeah, the writing on this is Chris Claremont, like at one of his best. You just really felt for the characters in this. The stakes were high, their motivations were clear. You could empathize with the struggles that they were going through, the moral struggles that they were having, and then just the artwork, the execution was amazing. So this is a great one. Holy moly, and it's signed. Dang it, Shelby. I mean, I'm almost as shocked as if there was a human head in this box. Like, literally, this is ridiculous. And then not to downplay anything else in this package, but he also included this. So this is crazy. Let me zoom out a little bit here. I was actually looking at this because Shelby did a review of this very book on his channel. He calls them like art for inspiration. And I had some back and forth with him when I was doing my master study. So one of the master studies I did was of the Barry Windsor Smith cover to Weapon X. And we had some back and forths about it. There it is. This is the master study I did. This is the image of the master study I did. And then I saw that he did a review of this book because it's a black and white reproduction of the story. They never did this in English. This is French. This is a French publisher that did this, that decided to publish a black and white compilation of this story. And so, yeah, you got to like order it internationally to find it. And I always had in the back of my mind to like get this. It's like one of the things I looked into trying to get, because Barry Windsor Smith has a very unique coloring style. It can be a bit garish at times, to be honest. It's really distinct, but it can be a bit garish. And so I just had an appreciation of his line work when I did the master study, even more so because I was working in black and white, right? So I always thought like, oh, it'd be cool to see Weapon X in black and white, because the Weapon X I know, I actually have it, is fully colored. The copy I have is fully colored. And you'll see the colors are pretty, like, really vibrant. And this is Barry Windsor Smith doing his own colors. So they're super strong, bold, But when you look at something like this, you almost like miss out on the line work a little bit. And that's why I loved the fact that this one is black and white, because without the colors, I mean, you just focus on like his cross hatching, and it's beautiful. Like, I have such an appreciation for this because I did it, or I tried to do it, tried to recreate it, just one image. Oh gosh. This is outstanding image, seeing this in black and white. Is this in focus? There, look at that. Goodness gracious. I could just end stream right there. Like, that is an amazing image. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Whew. That's killer. That is comics right there. So raw and just like, oh my gosh. This is such a good image to see in black and white. You get such an appreciation of the line work that Barry Windsor Smith did in here, the contouring, the costuming, the anatomy. Oh my gosh. This is unreal. I mean, it's unreal. Wow. I mean, I don't need to show you guys anything anymore today. This is unbelievable. This haul. Really cool. I don't know what I did to deserve this, Shelby Robertson, but man, oh man, thank you, sir. So cool. Oh, cool. They have a little, like, I can't read French, but a little, like, addendum. Ah, there it is. So, for those of you new to my channel, this was one of my master studies. I did this image. Here, I'll get it. And I was basing mine off of a scan I found on the internet of the image. So there it is. That's the original Barry Windsor Smith. This is my reproduction. Of course, mine, I tried to reproduce it at size, or what I thought was the proper size for it. So, but kind of crazy to see them next to each other. Oh, I guess they colored in this blood here. The image I had it not colored in. Yeah, that's cool. That's rad. Wow. Full circle. Full circle. Goodness. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wowie, wowie. Go if you like Barry Windsor Smith, if you like Weapon X, holy moly. This is amazing. It's a French version produced by Panini Comics. They do they're a main publisher in France. And they do a lot of good stuff. The French do it right, man. Like, this is cool. It's like cloth bound, hardbound, larger size, not full like artist edition size, but this is a nice hefty size. Wow. Unbelievable. Shelby Robertson, you little something something. Okay, I'm way behind, I'm sure, on chat, so let me see if I can catch some of it. And hopefully, let's see. Seven's a dark movie. Yes, it is a very dark movie. Did Rocky mistake you for a guy? Why share your chrome? Yes, I wasn't sure, John. I wasn't sure. I know now. I had the same problem with Comrade Sammy. You don't know, you know. These days, you don't know. Yes, I politely asked. Thank you. The ducks are about to burst. The Shell Bean himself. That's right. That's right. Like Shelby is busy or something. Rocky, did you see the huge Shell Bean I have mounted? I don't think I did. Is it in an image you sent me, Mark? Remind me, please. Mo Big says Shelby's channel would be huge by now if he didn't keep getting strikes for stealing the likeness of Dave. There's so much truth to that. So much truth to that. Shelby is probably one of, if not the most underrated CG artist. He's something, man. And like I said, he gives that aura that he doesn't care, but man, to get something like that, he cares. Shelby totally cares, and he's a craftsman, man. That guy, he's great. He's excellent. Yeah, I agree. His art is amazing. Shelby can and will draw feet. That's right. Early Christmas for Rocky. That's right. Korn made a comic book. I don't know. I wish I could post the link to my favorite Shelby related clip, but Noah deleted it. Noah, NTM comic. God, I don't know Noah. Kicked Shelby off a stream when he invited him back. He wouldn't come, so I convinced Noah to serenade Shelby by playing Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis acoustically. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. All right. Hashtag Moti worked like a charm. Oh my gosh. Timmy Mello's here. What's up, Timmy Mello?
And the Guardians are headed to October.
How you doing, Timmy? Awesome to see you here. Without Rocky's primary derailers, Comrade Sam and Emo in chat, he may actually end on time. I don't know. That derailed me. That package derailed me. Yeah, that was Shelby's comic, Ragetality. Here, I'll just, as I'm catching up in chat, I'll put it. Go back the dude. Go back this generous guy who sent me some awesome stuff in a package just now. God Loves Man Kills sounds like a great summary of the Garden of Eden. Right? Ragetality comics were Shelby's. Shelby sent those to Rocky. This is unboxing. Yes. Is this a Chris Claremont signature or a Brent Anderson? The contrast and enthusiasm reminds me of everyone getting a musical intro except, it's Mo. Stop it, Mo Biggs. You are next. Don't worry, you are next in line. I am a little bit behind on those, but you are next in line. You've got your wrench. That's the deal with the wrenchers on here. Try and get to it, but don't worry, you are next. I promise, Mo Biggs. Now I got to think of what to do, but you're next. But no, I would be happy with a Brent Anderson signature as well. I really would. But Chris Claremont, I mean, come on, man, he's like the greatest of all time. I have never read God Loves Man Kills. On my list, do it, Jeffrey Beats. It's awesome. I mean, if you like X-Men, it's just a great story. It's a really human, relatable, and it just, for me, it just like, it just encapsulated the whole mutant plight, right? So like the X-Men, X-Mutants plight, that the core of who those characters were and their journey in their story, a lot of that foundationally was in God Loves Man Kills. So if you like any of that, it's all so complicated now, I feel like. There's so many different threads and blah, blah, blah. That at the core of what that story is what drew me into the X-Men world. So I would highly, highly recommend that story. Mo does deserve a sound effect. He will. Justice for me. I stand with me. I will get you one. Don't worry, Mo Biggs. Alex Connolly. Hey, what's up? Wow, very impressive stuff. Yes, very impressive. Shelby's work looks ace. I need to pick it up. Do it. He's amazing. Shelby's got the connects for sure. For sure. French. Where are Mr. Monkey Boy 1960? Yeah, where are those guys? The bande dessinée lovers. Where are they? Wait, Rocky Drek that? Oh, drew that? Yes. I Dreked it too. I drew the this one. I have a whole master study of me doing this master study of Barry Windsor Smith. So yes, this is original. This is ink on paper, and I started off. I have the whole. Here, I'll show you. It's worth it to show. If I can reach it. This is the pencils of that page too. So yeah, turned out great. It's really It was a really fun one. This is the only cover I've done so far. Mostly I do sequential pages, but this is the only cover I've done so far. I know, Mark's Music Obsession. I know you want me to do another cover. Don't worry. I mean, worry, but I hear you. But yeah, I did the pencils and then inked over that. So check that out, Alex Connolly, if you're interested. Check out that Master Study series. That was a fun one. Master Studies are recreating drawings to hone techniques. Yeah, that's a good summary, John. I always stumble on my summary when I'm trying to describe the Master Studies. Mobig says, I would try and convince Bancroft to do a live reading of this book in French, but I wouldn't want to break up his family when Mrs. B, Bancroft, finally cracks from his French accent. Thank you, John. Those are the links to the different Master Studies. Thank you so much, Alex Connolly. Yeah, it's awesome. You can go back and watch those. I try and organize them so that they're all together. And it also helps the channel too, because those are the watch hours that increase the viewership of the channel, is when people go back and watch content that's already happened. Not just the live stuff, but also the previous stuff. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. They're fun. There's a lot of fun conversation during those things too. And you can watch me stumble through the process. That is a lot of line work. Yep. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. If you like reading comics and eating paninis, they're a one-stop shop. Lindsay Rose says she didn't know Comrade Sammy was a girl either. Yeah, see? I think the first time I interacted with Comrade Sammy, I was like, thanks, man. And John was like, that's not a man. It's like, oh, sorry. I'm just seeing the word Sammy. Like, how do I know? Comrade Sammy. How do you know what gender that is? You really don't. Mark sent me a link. Oh, okay, cool. Is this the link of the shell bean? All right, let me find it. Where is that? I got to look at it on YouTube. I love it. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, Mark. What is this? What in the blazes is this? What in the heck is that? There's too much backstory that I am not aware, but that is frighteningly accurate to Shelby. Is that a 3D print? Like, what in the heck is that? Oh my gosh. Mark says, this is it. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm the creative director. That's right. Mark's Music Obsession says he got it from the Diaz brothers and made the bass and nameplate myself. Oh my gosh, Mark. That is amazing. What do people think of when they go to your house and see that? Like, what? There is no context whatsoever to that, and yet it is hilarious. Dude, they should have you drawing comics for them. Oh my gosh. Not even close. But thank you, Alex Connolly. That would be amazing. Here's the link to the Master Study. Thank you guys for posting those links. Come on, Rocky. You can branch out with the watercolor. Ooh. You guys look up Web of Spider-Man #1. Mark's asking me to do that as a Master Study. Oh my gosh. Ironically, Melanie B's last name is not Bancroft. Oh, shoot. My bad. Lindsay Rose knows a guy named Sammy too. See, there you go. See, here you go. 3D printed. That is crazy. That is hilarious and crazy. Okay, we got to get going into the rest of these comics. This cannot be a solely Shelby stream, although he would deserve it because that was an epic, probably, arguably one of the best unboxings I've done in a long time. You know what's related to this? You guys will get a kick out of this. So I found this in my dollar box at a dollar bin today. And I wouldn't normally pick up a book that's called Morbid Angel. Although whenever I see stuff that's like way off the beaten path, like not traditionally a title that I would recognize, that's an independently produced comic, I'll more than likely open it up and flip through it, because as much as I love mainstream comics and, all the IP that we are familiar with, I do love independent comics a lot, especially as an artist, looking at just how independent comics, you can just get the whole gamut of different styles, different genres. And so when I saw this, I was like, okay, I've never heard of this before. Interesting. Let me open it up. Oh, look, it's a black and white comic. Cool. Awesome. Wait a minute. Pencils by who in the heck? I literally picked up this book today, and I kind of was like, I knew I was going to be unboxing. Sorry, just want to check the focus on here. I knew I was going to be unboxing Shelby's box today, and when I found this, I was like, okay, it's fate. Like, this is going to be about Shelby. But how funny is that? I don't know. This was produced in 1996. Oh my gosh. 1996. Is that almost 30 years ago? Shelby was penciled this. And this must have been like, he was like all the way in Image already at this point, seems like. I kind of wish he was on stream so that we could talk to him about it. Maybe next time if he pops in on another stream, I'll ask him about this particular book, or I'll ask him on the side and then can fill you guys in later. But yeah, he did the pencils for this, and you can tell he's totally in that Image world. I don't know the inker at all, Mike Taylor. Curious. But this is kind of awesome to see Shelby at this point already in his career, almost 30 years ago. I love that it's in black and white. I love that it's just like crazy, unabashedly comics, crazy 90s Image comics feel to it. Like, this guy feels like he could be Savage Dragon. This guy feels like he could be Prophet. Like, all those kind of references there. I just love the insane hatching stuff that's still in Shelby's stuff to this day. So how fun is that to pick up a book from 30 years ago in his career, and also to look at like the newer stuff that he's working on as well. It's so fun. There was another day that I had picked up, and I think I had Shant on my stream. This was a long time ago, but I found a book that Shant had illustrated. It was a Starship's Trooper book that he had illustrated. I found that in a back issue box. And just for him to like talk about his career and where it had come from and stuff he had worked on. It's kind of fun. So there you go. We got a double dosage of Shelby Robertson on this stream. Morbid Angel. Who knows how he got connected to these guys? London Knight, I think. Razor. Yeah, I think Razor. Which Razor was like around the same time. It was like The Crow. Kind of those indie dark comics. I love The Crow. Crow is one of my favorite independent books. But yeah, I guess Razor was their flagship title. But I've never heard of Morbid Angel, but it's so that time period. You can hear the electric guitars playing. Did Shelby do this cover? I don't think Shelby did this cover. I can't read the signature. Doesn't look like Shelby's work on the cover. Oh, here, cover. Jude Million and Slick. Yeah, so he didn't do the cover. But I'm glad I opened it up and found out that he did the pencils inside. That's pretty awesome. Is it based on the band Morbid Angel? I don't know. It says Everett Hartso's Morbid Angel. Oh, he's the writer. I don't even know. I don't know anything about the band. If there is a band Morbid Angel. So you tell me. Mo Biggs. Alex Connolly says, I love Spider-Man, so I'll be sure to check out that. Web of Spider-Man #1. Yes, I believe the cover was a Charles Vess cover, and he's a master painter. So that's super intimidating to for Mark to ask me to try and do that as a master study. Not that I would back down from a challenge, but I'll have to think about it. I'm preparing a new comic display area in my music room, waiting on all of the Shanth stuff. It'll be in that display. That's awesome, Mark. A Shanth shrine. Is it? Yeah, we asked that. B&B with art gallery and music hall. That's right. I will sponsor the watercolor and gouache supplies. Stop it. I like that. Let's see. MD Houghton, what's up, MD Houghton? Good evening to you. Welcome. We just had an awesome unboxing from Shelby Robertson. Just saw a old issue of an independent book that he worked on, and now we're gonna get into. This might be a little, anticlimactic after that unboxing, but we'll get through it. Wonder if it was any part of inspiration for Razor Fist. I don't think so. Razor Fist. I don't know. I don't think so, though. There was a Razor Morbid Angel crossover, but Shelby didn't draw it. Oh, okay. All right. I never followed Razor. It wasn't my cup of tea at the time. And probably I didn't have access to a book like Razor when I was a kid either. So, but I've never heard of Morbid Angel. I just happened to run across it today. Yes, there's a lot of Mark Silvestriism in the younger Shelby style, that's for sure. Just that whole world, the flair of that style, the Image world was amazing. Definitely not about the death metal band. I don't know. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, we were wondering where you are.
How do you say monkey in French?
You missed the French book. Go back and watch it, but I'll give you a sneak peek. This is the unboxing. I think this would qualify as a bande dessinée. It's a gallery edition of Weapon X in black and white that I was just gifted by the great Shelby Robertson. So check it out. It's in French. It's comics. You gotta love it. Okay. Redcoat. Oh no, Emo will be upset. Too bad, Emo. Too bad. Okay, I'll flip through it. There's a couple books here that are part of my normal pull. So I'll do a quicker flip through. You guys know, we are 12 issues in on Redcoat. So you got to know pretty much what you're going to get when you get these. And I'm still picking it up because it's just a great series. It's a really well written. The character of Redcoat is compelling. His name's Simon Pure. And now they're introducing this new character, the Northerner, who I have a feeling he's also kind of a time traveling character. And I have a feeling they're going to spin off a book with him based on if he's popular in the series or not. But the last issue of Redcoat, the two of them cross paths. And so now it's kind of moving more into that story. Hold on a second. Just got to reply here. Okay. So yeah, it's just Redcoat doing Redcoat things and Ghost Machine. More importantly, Ghost Machine doing Ghost Machine things, which, if I could summarize for you, it's like solid stories, great new characters, and just excellent artwork. The artwork has never. They've had a. I don't know if in Redcoat. Let me think. Did they ever have a fill-in issue on Redcoat? They had a fill-in issue on some of their other, like Geiger, which is another series from Ghost Machine, has had a fill-in artist for a couple issues. I can't remember if Redcoat has. But man, they just keep it at a high level, a high bar for a monthly book. I don't know how far in advance they are as far as production schedule, but I'm just amazed. And I think they're really committed to keeping that consistency. That's probably why they're doing so well, is because they have been consistent. This is a little bit of the like, they learned from Image Comics' pattern, where Image Comics, like, they had all the best artists starting those books, and then they would each, like, they all came out, all their number ones were like selling like hotcakes everywhere. There's so much hype, and then barely any of them could keep a consistent book coming out. So number 2 would come out maybe a month later, and then number 3 was maybe like 1.5 months or 2 months later, then just kept getting later and later and later. Then they'd start having fill-in artists, and it was really, you'd be hard pressed to find a book hold for 14 issues, 12 to 14 issues from the original Image creators. And that kind of hurt them. It hurt their reputation a little bit, because, and it hurt their storytelling a little bit. So I feel like Ghost Machine made a conscious effort to assemble an amazing team for each one of their flagship books, but also make sure that they had enough runway to stay consistent with producing it on a monthly schedule. Like, that is no joke. It's cool. Yeah, Brian Hitch is the artist, Jeff Johns is the writer, and Brad Anderson does the colors. Andrew Curry is one of the inkers with Brian Hitch, but Brad Anderson does some great color work on all the Ghost Machine books, but in particular, his Redcoat coloring is awesome. It's like, it feels like a superhero book, but it's like American history, you know? So it's cool. It's like, but it's not too stylized. Just great color theory. Cool stuff. And Jeff Johns interweaves American history with fantasy and kind of magic and time traveling. He does it in such a fun way. I thought, when I first heard about all the Ghost Machine books that came out, I thought Redcoat would be my least favorite. Oh, Brian Hitch is always killing it with these wraparound covers. I thought Redcoat would be my least favorite, just because I'm not a huge history buff. So I was like, it'll be a little stretch, but it's been awesome. And he's just thrown in just enough of like otherworldliness into all these stories that has kept me hooked in, not like bored by the history. And Redcoat's just a fun character. So cool. That came out, Redcoat 12. Mo Biggs says, gotta head out, everybody. All right, see you later, Mo Biggs. Thanks for being in here. And I do promise I will be working on your sound effect, my friend. That will be coming. Hail Rocky, hail the chat. Make me think of the show Turn, Washington Spies. Huh, I don't know that show. Later, Mo. Be safe. I definitely need to make characters inspired by that Sylvester Turner darkness theme. A name that comes to mind is Black Mercury. That's cool. Love that. I let Emo know there's a Redcoat this stream. Mr. Anderson. All right, here's another book. One of my regulars that I've been picking up because of the team on it. It's been getting good, consistently delivering every time it comes out, is Batman and Robin Year One by Mark Waid. Chris Samney is the artist, and then Mateus Lopez is the colorist on this. But Chris Samney's just been getting better and better on this book. That's cool. That's a cool character. It does have this more like mafia aspect to it. They are like sprinkling in the rogues gallery, like Two-Face and Clayface has been in it. Did they have Joker? I can't remember. But some of the, tried and true Batman villains. But there is this underlying like mafia side to it. This is cool. Like spread. Great compositions here by Samney. That's awesome. Awesome expression for Robin. I love Samney's Batman too. He does a great Batman. It's cool. His Batman in silhouette's awesome. Nice. Nice page. Nice colors. Love these tones here. These like green, blue tones. That's cool. That's a very like non-conventional pose. Like seeing Batman from the back and Robin flipping this way, like heading like the camera's behind them as opposed to in front of them. It's very non-conventional. That's awesome though. It's great. Great splash. I had talked about this story, the storylines that I had noticed in this, and they are, I guess because it's Batman and Robin year one, they are focusing on that father, like pseudo-father, pseudo-son relationship between Bruce and Dick. So they definitely put that into every issue. Oh, cool. There's the guy who's Clayface. That's cool. Nice image of Clayface there. Great page. Love how that ends on black after the gunshots. Ugh. Yeah, it's like a murder mystery kind of thing. It's cool. Very cool. Who's this? Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific year one. All right, Batman and Robin year one, number 7. It's like we've made it over the midpoint on this series, so it seems like they're kind of heading to the final climax pretty soon. That's such an interesting cover too. It's so subtle and not what you would expect. But again, they're pushing that like detective, crime, mafioso feel to it. So it's awesome. It's a nice cover. Batman and Robin, the Abstract Art Files. I could be wrong, but there might be a comic version of Turn. Oh, really? Nice. Turn Washington Spies. I'll have to look that up, Lindsay Rose. That is new to me. Somebody in my comments, oh gosh, now I can't remember, and commented on the latest Master Study show, was telling me about a manga series that, I can look it up, a manga series that was about manga artist, like a manga artist, a struggling manga artist. So I always love it, and I mentioned this in the comments back to this person. I always love it when they do the kind of self-referential stuff. Like I've seen some animated shows from Japan that are about people that work in an animation studio and how crazy it is, but they're like over the top and super exaggerated. But I kind of love that. It's like a funny, like self-referential thing. Oh, it was you, Lindsay Rose. You're giving me all the great recommendations. So Lindsay Rose mentioned Sorry. Lindsay Rose mentioned that show, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. So I'll have to try and find that. And now you're talking about Turn, the Washington Spies. Okay. Thank you. I love recommendations, guys. So yeah, if you want to send me recommendations either here on stream, in chat, or in the comments, I love it. I try and, hunt them down if and when I can. Usually that's through, if it's like an old series, usually that's like through my library, or I kind of have a running list of books that I keep an eye out. But yeah, thanks for those recommendations, Lindsay Rose. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. I love always. That's part of the fun of doing this is me, not just me talking about the comics, but also getting recommendations from you all. The life of a mangaka is eye-opening. It's kind of painful and scary. The Berserk artist literally worked himself to the. Yes, I know. Vatican City #2 came out from Mark Millar and Per Berg, also known as Narwhal. And Narwhal has his own YouTube channel as well. And he's been in the indie comic space and got discovered by Mark Millar from social media, which is pretty incredible. It's like an incredible success story. And Vatican issue 1 came out, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And it's basically the premise is there's a vampire apocalypse, and the only safe haven is the Vatican City. And because of all the like holy symbols there, the Catholic symbols there. And so people like hole up in there and like wall up, but the impending attack from the vampires, is on its way. So it's like it's kind of like the Alamo, but with vampires. So I picked up this version of the cover. I saw it in Frank's store. This is a variant cover of it, and I love it. I love seeing it in black and white. It's kind of cool. And here it is. I think that this is I want to say this is a 4-issue series. Mark Millar also posted not too long ago he also has a YouTube channel, and he has some great interviews. I mean, Mark Millar is obviously Mark Millar, right? So he's got a lot of connections in entertainment, comics, movies. And so he's done some amazing interviews on his channel, and he just seems like a super cool guy, like just a comic fan through and through, and has a lot of knowledge about the business because he's worked in comics. He's worked on some of the greatest stories, modern day stories, up to this point. So he did a recent show where he interviewed Per and also his own daughter, Mark Millar's daughter, because she is a independent artist as well, and she does comics totally different from this. She does more like quirky, character-based animal comics. So yeah, he interviewed both Per and her at the same time, and it's great. It's a really awesome interview, super entertaining, and they just talk about how Mark Millar discovered him and what he loves about his work, and just kind of where he's going. So check it out if you get a chance. But I will say that Per's work just looks nothing like anything out there, whether you like it or not. It is different. It's a different flavor to comics. And there's some things that he does which I think are absolutely brilliant, and there's some things I'm like, oh wow, that's not a choice I would have made. But I'm going to keep picking up this series because I do love that he got discovered in this way. I do love what he's really strong at, which is some dynamic layouts. And I think he also has a background in animation a little bit, so you can tell that from the way that his characters move and pose. And then also with Mark Millar's storytelling. He's got a very, very loose, sketchy style, like almost unfinished, but he works really fast too, it seems like. And he knows how to draw. You know, he's got great poses, great expressions. Sometimes I look at some of his images, I'm like, oh, I would just like love to take a brush to that and just try and finish it. But this is his finish, you know, so his lighting is really cool too, has a nice cinematic feel to it. And I feel like he kind of leans into this unrefined, and that's not meant to be an insult, but just like an unrefined style. It's super loose, which goes against or opposite of what my natural tendencies. Like I love stuff that feels very tight and refined and finished. And he's like really loose with his stuff. And I think that comes from the like animation background too. That's cool. The colors are really fascinating. Just talk about unconventional layouts. Like it feels more like a film versus a comic book, like film storyboards. I could actually see him being a great board artist for live action films. His style would work really well for that. It's like loose, but it's all still there. It's not cartoony, but it's exaggerated. Yeah, he would do really well in storyboards, actually. Cool. This is Mark Miller's daughter. So cute. She's doing this book called Bird Dad. So different from her dad, but I heard that the type of stories that she tells are kind of dark. Mark Miller definitely has a dark side to his stories, which is kind of ironic when you see him in interviews. He seems like such a bubbly, nice dude, but he has a very, very dark tone to the morality in his stories. And I heard she's kind of like that too, even though her artwork looks like that. Final issue. Oh, so I guess it's only a 3-issue thing. Final issue on sale June 18th. No, it's only a 3-issue thing. Doesn't it look like, don't you want to feel like just color? It's like fill in the blanks, like color in the lines. Kind of make it feel like that. Vatican City #2. Timmy Mello says his work basically was his life in a morbid sense. I started reading Berserk. You're talking about Berserk artist. I started reading. I've read the first 2 volumes. Kentaro Miura. It's really gory. So if that's his life, man, oh man, like it's really dark. So I can't even imagine. And I think it's just getting started. Like I can't even imagine where it goes because it's a long series. So Narwhal, that's right. Timmy Mello knows. Hey, what's up, Zaid Comics? Phil, what's up? How are you doing? I got to go run to the shop and pick mine up. Yes, there it is, Vatican City. I know that Phil has streamed with or streams with Narwhal quite a bit. So check it out. Good friend of his. So it must be kind of cool to like see his work on the stand and also be talking with him. So Narwhal will direct his own TV show someday. It feels like it. It's like he's working towards that for sure. He's got all the tools to be able to pull it off, and now it's not just talent, right? They always say it's like a perfect storm of talent and luck, or talent and timing. I've heard too, and I feel like that's happening for Pear or Narwhal, whatever you want to call him. He has all the tools and the talent, and now just the timing worked out to be boosted in the mainstream through Mark Miller. And then who knows where this will go. That'll be cool to see where his next project will be after this. Okay, 2 more. This one I picked up. I was unsure. I didn't know about this book at all. I just saw it on the rack and I hesitated. I was like, well, do I want to commit to it? I'm kind of a sucker for issue 1s, especially of books that I don't know anything about, like that are independent books and that they grab me either based on the concept or the artwork, more likely the artwork, I'll usually give number ones a shot. And then if I get into the characters and the story at the end of the first issue, then I'll keep picking it up. And again, for independent books. With mainstream books, they have a little bit more leverage on me because they have all the backstory of like Spider-Man or Batman, right? So I give them a little bit more leeway. But this one, I was iffy about until I flipped through it and then said, okay, I'm going to give this a shot, because this one gave me some like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes, like strong Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibes. And I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love that property. I love the characters. And it just had this kind of cool 80s retro feel to it, down to the finish and the colors and just the weird character designs in it. But I don't know anything about it. Robo Wolf is kind of a cool name. That logo is pretty hot. You know, I love it with the like metal reflections on it. Robo Wolf. I mean, it's a cool name. And the artist and the author, the creators, Jake Smith. So I don't know much about Jake Smith, where he came from or what his backstory is, but this is cool. So yeah, I mean, this is it, like TMNT vibes right here from the get-go in this van, green van with a little radar dish at the top. It's pretty cool. Love her design. It's got a really tight, like, it's funny to look at this book right after the Vatican City, because this guy's got a super tight finish on his work. And then the second I saw this, I was like, all right, I'll pick up the book. Like Uzis, double Uziing it, shooting out of a van, a wolf, and the sound effects being butta, butta, butta. Like that hits a nerve for me. A good one. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, it looks like fun, zany action, really wild characters, just embracing the silly 80s that we grew up in, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out of, G.I. Joe, like all that kind of stuff, just embracing the silliness of it. And I think the artwork looks fun. The colors are... This might as well be like a advertisement for like skateboards or something in that time. Then you got a dad-daughter story. Robo Wolf's got a daughter. Come on, that's cool. But it's pretty impressive because he did he did the colors too. Colors and artwork, and wrote it. So pretty impressive. Whoa. Is that Fate? Lindsay Rose? What's up? Look at that. Lindsay. His daughter's name's Lindsay. I didn't know that. I didn't know you'd be in my chat and then I'd find out this character's name is Lindsay. Must be meant to be. This guy looks like he came out of Street Fighter. Look at that vein. My gosh. You poke that thing and like Niagara Falls is coming out. It's fun. It just exudes all the stuff that made the 80s fun. Now, once I read the story, hopefully it's not so like, oh, we're so 80s. Sometimes when you play around with nostalgia like that and you lean into it, sometimes it goes too far and there's no meat to it or no like guts to the story. So we'll see once I read it. But look at this crazy dude with two heads. Bracka bracka, butta butta. Come on, those are amazing sound effect sounds. I didn't realize how much those would remind me of my childhood. You can almost see these like toys out of these guys. Pretty fun. Yeah, I don't know what else this guy Jake Smith did, but it's cool. It's fun. And this guy might as well be Shredder, but he's got two chainsaw arms. Nitro Cyber Saw. That's kind of cool. That's cool, right? So, yeah, that's awesome. It's kind of a cool pickup. Not on my radar by any stretch of the imagination, but pretty fun. If you like that kind of 80s throwback, fun, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this looks like the book for you. Robo Wolf #1. Hey, it's a me. It's a me. Lindsay Rose says. Zaid Comics says, I'm going to have to get this one too. There you go. Robot Arm. That's right. Jeffrey Beats says, gotta run, Rocky. I'll watch the rest tonight. Have a great night. See you later, Jeffrey Beats. Thank you so much. Go get your bogan on. Yes, this is very 80s. Oh, Lisa Frank. Yes, that's a good reference. This art is good old 1980s trippy. That's right. Channeling some Magic Cop. Oh, that's one of Phil's book, Magic Cop. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. The joy of the 80s, especially with this like reflective title. I could totally see that. Zaid loves it. Saying goodbye to Jeffrey. Even though I'm not buying anything this week, I'd read everything in this video. All right then. That's a good. I'll take that as a win. I love it. I'll see you all in other stream legends. Consume enough of this comic and you'll vomit rainbow colors. It's right. It's like this is like a steady diet of Skittles and Lucky Charms right here. Phil, you missed Rocky showing the mounted bigulated bean. He got a huge box of stuff from. I did. It was amazing, and that bean is amazing. The shell bean is amazing. Ironically, they announced a Street Fighter movie. Neon. That's what it's all about. They also... I saw some images from the new He-Man movie coming out. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, of the guy who's playing He-Man and the girl who's playing Teela. So, I don't know. I loved He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Like the cartoon, the toys. I was a big collector of Star Wars toys, Transformers, and He-Man was right up there. Like He-Man, I got a lot of that collection, more so than G.I.Joe. So I was sold on He-Man toys, and so when they did the original Masters of the Universe movie in the late 80s, early 90s. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted as a kid, but I watched it and was excited about it, but it was a little bit too different. And amazingly, like Mobius did some design work on that. Yeah, it just took it a little bit too far in a different direction. And then they've announced, over the last 3 or 4 decades, they've always announced like, oh, we're going to do a new He-Man movie and so-and-so's attached to direct. And it just never happened. But they are making a new live action movie now. And I don't know. I'll see. I mean, the images I saw, I'm like, could work. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But I don't know if any of you guys saw that. Timmy Miller says professional wrestler Roman Reigns will play Akuma in the Street Fighter movie. No kidding. Wow. All right, here we go. Here's the last book. Oh, wow. It's already 4:14. Wow, I gotta wrap up. Okay. I don't pick up Spawn, and this is in the Spawn world. This is a book called The Curse of Sherlee Johnson. I was not going to pick this up. Definitely not on my radar. I'm not in the Spawn world that much at all. I was when it first came out for sure, because Todd McFarlane was one of my favorite artists, comic book artists of all time. So I did follow Spawn for a long time when it first came out. But I am not a huge... Since it went like super horror, and then all the spin-offs that have come off of Spawn, none of them have really... I've never really stuck with it. So like I don't read Gunslinger Spawn, I don't read Medieval Spawn, I don't read what's the name of the girl Spawn character with the red hair? I don't read that book. So none of those books really I haven't picked up a Spawn book in a long time, and God bless Todd McFarlane for like having the longest running independent book of all time. That guy's a legend. But it just never doesn't appeal to me because it is more horror based, and that's not my thing. But this grabbed my eyes because of the cover. This is a McFarlane cover, and even McFarlane's current stuff, when he does do covers or some artwork, it's not the same as at the height of Todd's powers in the 90s, 2000s, that Image time when he was doing Spider-Man. And I mean, it didn't get any better for me than that for comic book art. But as Todd's gotten older and he's focused on other things and he's drawn less and less, every now and then he'll come out with a new piece of art. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not the Todd that I really loved. But I saw this and I'm like, whoa, that actually looks like the Todd that I love. Like, I was really impressed with this cover, and it sucked me in. And probably a lot of that has to do with that it's in black and white too. You just got to see the classic Todd McFarlane line work in it. And I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. So I was like, all right, let me look at this book. I love the cover. It's a variant cover for this book. Let me look at the artwork. And the artwork is done by a dude named, a guy named Jonathan Glapion. I know that he works with McFarlane on other stuff, and I think he's the regular artist on this book. And this is the first issue. So I flipped through it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this is kind of cool. It's got McFarlane vibes to it. It's got kind of Greg Capullo-ish vibes to it, but it's also its own thing. Like, that's pretty rad. And this is the character Sherlee Johnson. So I have no context of who this character is or what. All I know is she's got the Violator face markings, but she seems to be some crazy little girl, some scary little girl. But the artwork is kind of cool. Like I said, it has Capullo feel to it, McFarlane feel to it, but it's also its own thing. And I was pretty impressed by it. I like the colors too. And it has somewhat of like a painterly feel to it with the finish on the inks. So yeah, this, and again, I just flipped through it and I was like, okay, I can see this girl. Something's happened to this girl. She's going through probably hell in some sort. But then you get these cool characters. That's really neat. That's cool. That's kind of neat. So this is not what I was expecting at all, to be honest, for the artwork of this book. You guys remember that book Ain't No Grave? It kind of gave me a little bit of vibes of that too. That's really cool. That whatever this is, this city demon thing. Love that. Love this black and white stuff. This is one of the most notorious characters. Oh, that's who she is. Oh, this is one of the most notorious characters from the Spawn universe. And it was a pedophile, basically a serial killer pedophile named Billy Kincaid. I think it was issue 4 of Spawn. And that's where this is, this I Love Billy. And yeah, it was one of the most shocking issues of Spawn. When that came out, you're like, whoa. And I think that's kind of where Spawn took a turn for like the horror, in my opinion. So I guess she was one of the victims. That's a cool take. But yeah, there's like an angularity to Jonathan Glapion's style that's kind of neat, kind of different than what I was expecting for McFarlane's, for a Spawn book. This feels very Greg Capullo-ish. I want to say Glapion was an inker before. I could be wrong about that. That's a cool character design too. That's neat. These kind of things made me go, oh, all right, this is different. This feels different than what I was expecting. And again, the colors are nice. Nice. That's cool. It's like spider something or other. So all these interesting character designs that didn't feel super Spawn-ish, but then also had the Spawn aspect of it in it. It's neat. Couple that with a McFarlane variant cover, and I was sold. I was totally sold. That's the power of McFarlane, man. That guy still has his claws in me a little bit. Here we are. So yeah, I didn't think at all that this book would interest me. So I'm pleasantly surprised that it made me want to pick it up. That's a cool Spawn. That's pretty cool. So, that's an interesting angle. That she is the victim of Billy, and he was, like I mentioned, was one of the most notorious characters in the Spawn universe. So that's a cool angle to like connect back to him with her character and now follow her story. Timmy Mello says, I bet Shantha's lurking. And Lindsay Rose says, yep, that's horror. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a genre that it takes a lot for me to get interested in a book in the horror genre. And there's a fine line in that, right? Like I just mentioned The Crow. There's a lot of horror in The Crow, but that revenge, dark, action, fantasy part of it, that's what really appealed to me. And then The Crow's design, J.O. Barr's artwork in that is phenomenal. So that's what really pulled me into that. But there are kind of horrific aspects of this. This is like supernatural horror, and people just being really dark and horrific. So that's where I'm like, like body horror, or like anything with like horror movies, like serial killers, not so much. And I'd say in mainstream comics, there's a huge push in that direction. That seems to be some stuff that sells a lot is in mainstream comics or is the horror genre. So Spawn was probably ahead of its time, and McFarlane's just capitalized on that. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, I'll read this, and then we'll see if I'll pick up issue 2. I don't know if it's an ongoing series, a limited series, but if they can get a great story attached to her, like whether that's a revenge story or just how damaged she was because she went through this stuff with Billy, that could be pretty cool. She could be pretty cool. They've got to give her a little bit of a hook, though, because, yeah, I mean, that kind of revenge coming back from being tortured by this guy, I could see people getting into that. Lindsay Rose says, I'll have to check the Crow art. I'm short in time, but I'll end it on this because it's worth it. Oh, wait. Where did I put that? Oh, here. Here you go, Lindsay Rose. I always have this nearby. Look at this. This is J.O. Barr's stuff. Oh, I love this image. Crow was like none other. It's a dark story. Really dark. And there's some like autobiographical parts to it. J.O. Barr has kind of a tragic story with losing his girlfriend, and he injects it into this. And this was kind of like I want to say, oh, look at this image. So cool. I want to say it was like therapeutic for him to write this story because he lost his girlfriend in a pretty tragic way. But he just goes there. It like gets super dark and super violent. And the Crow is just an awesome character, awesome design. He's the best artist on the Crow. There's been other artists that worked on it, but he is by far the best Crow artist himself. Yeah, and this tapped into that like 90s grunge, rebellious, like revenge, anti the man kind of feel to it. Super cool. Look at that. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Man, I love the Crow. It's a good story. Yeah, it's sad. You should read it though. I mean, you should read it. It's one of those cornerstone indie books that was like nothing else out there, and was unapologetic for the kind of story it was trying to tell. It wasn't trying to be commercial. It was just raw. If I could describe, one descriptive word of the Crow, whether it's that describes the artwork, that describes the story, the character, it's raw. And it still resonates with me whenever I pick it up. It's just like, oh my gosh, like it's not like you look at it and you're like, oh, that kind of aged. It was just of the time. No, it's really like, oh, like gut wrenching. And then there's a lot of what happened when the movie was made. They made the movie with Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. And there was a whole thing around that because he was killed on set while they were filming these movies. So they thought like, this movie is cursed. This whole story is cursed. And but it's actually a really good movie and a great interpretation of the Crow. It was very faithful to the book for the most part, and Brandon Lee was such an amazing cast for it. So it was super tragic that he died. Yeah, this was good. It's really good. The art is neat for sure, Lindsay Rose says. Yeah, it's good. Oh man, so this was an awesome time. I do have to cut it short because I do have a time limit. I have to get to something this evening. But man, what a show today with that unboxing. For those of you who came in late, go rewind and watch the beginning of the stream. Shelby Robertson, I gotta give you the props, man. That's Shelby's sound. I gotta give him the like air horn, the applause, noisemaker, everything. Thank you so much, Shelby. I wish you were here in stream, but thank you so much for that super generous package. You didn't have to, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. Shelby gave me copies of his book, Ragetality. And then some amazing gifts in there. So thank you so much. I owe you big time, man. But thank you for being a friend here in the YouTube comic space, and thank you for inspiring me and just being a fantastic artist and putting out some awesome content on your channel. Go subscribe to Shelby American Discard. Go subscribe to everybody. Phil Zaid Comics, who's in here. He's got some great content on his channel as well. He was talking about Magic Cop, all that stuff. Phil loves a lot of comics, all sorts of different comics, and he has great shows where he's talking about not only comics, but just fun mainstream stuff. So go subscribe to him. Definitely go support my buddy Shanthan Jetty Art, who's a trailer I put before this show. Support his book, Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity. He's on his way to 25K on that book and has an awesome variant cover by John Malin. And yeah, go get some comics. Go be inspired by comics like I am. I'm just so excited. I'm going to go look at all this other stuff all over again off stream where I don't have to talk about it at the same time and I can just sit and absorb it. And as for my channel, please subscribe and like this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a smile out of the content and the time hanging out in the chat. Hopefully I didn't yap too much. I I do. I really do. That can't be helped. That's part of it. But also, I just finished a master study yesterday, so go check out those streams with the Frank Miller page that we just wrapped up. Super inspiring with adding in all the screen tones and stuff. You can go watch those on the playlist. And yeah, what's next is I got to figure out what the next master study is going to be. We're going to keep pushing towards 3,000 watch hours, and so that we can get monetized and talk about paid memberships, subscriptions. What is that all going to mean for this channel? I guarantee you that's going to involve commissions and drawing on those awesome blank covers, like some of those that Shelby sent me. Guarantee you that's going to be part of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to taking this channel to the next level with all of your guys' help. So spread the word. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Rocky Ballesteros, and I will catch you guys next time. I really appreciate you guys all being here. And yeah, it was fun. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.